Hey mathematics learners, welcome to Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. So on today's video tutorial, grade 11s, we are still going through the grade 11 mathematical literacy paper 2 that was written in November 2022. And in this video tutorial, guys, we're going to be tackling question 2.3. And question 2.3, guys, deals with map work. Okay, so we're going to be using this map that is given to us to basically answer questions that are given, right? And to also determine the scale or the number scale that is used here, right? So if you know that you struggle in determining a number scale, please make sure that you watch this entire video tutorial, because I want to be taking you guys through the steps that will help you understand what you need to do to determine the number scale for this map. Okay, so before you get started with today's video tutorial, guys, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Please make sure that you click on that notification bell so that you get notified every single time I upload a new video tutorial, guys. And also please don't forget to give this video tutorial a huge thumbs up, because it really helps the channel grow and it helps the channel to reach more learners that want to better their mathematics marks. So without any further ado, guys, let's get started with today's video tutorial. Like I mentioned, we're going to be tackling question 2.3, and question 2.3 deals with map work. We are going to be interpreting this map that is given to us. We're going to be analyzing it. We're going to be determining the number scale for this map, right? So please make sure that you watch the entire video tutorial. Okay, question 2.3 says, refer to the map below and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so we're given this map here, right? And we need to answer questions based on this given map, right? So let us have a look at the questions that are given. Name the metropolitan roads that are found on the map, guys. Okay, so we've already discussed what are provincial, how we can identify provincial roads on the map, how we can identify metropolitan roads on the map, how we can identify national roads on the map, right? And we spoke about when we are given national roads, right, those are symbolized with an N. When we want to basically find the metropolitan roads, those are symbolized with an M. And when we want to basically determine the provincials, right, those are symbolized with an R. Okay, so here we want to name the metropolitan roads that are found on this map. So we want to look for the roads that have the M. Okay, so we're going to skim through our map and try to identify all the roads that have an M. Okay, so we're going to just skim through this map, right? Okay, and when you skim through it, you'll see that you've got the M9 and the M18. Okay, so those are the metropolitan roads that are found on this map. It's just those two. Okay, so we're just gonna say it's the the M9 and the M18. Okay, it's the M9 and the M18. All right, let's look at question 2.3.2. Okay, say list the major national roads that link Bluewater Bay to Koga. So we're going to have to find where Bluewater is. Okay, that is Bluewater Bay, right? And where is Koga? That is Koga, right? So the question is saying we need to list the national roads that link Koga to, okay, and what is the national road that we see here, right? Okay, that links these two places. Do you guys see that it's the N2? National, N for national, right? Therefore, we can just say it's the N2. All right. Okay. Question 2.3. Okay, they made a mistake there. It says identify the provincial road between Ipai and Dispatch, right? So we need to basically find where Ipai is and Dispatch is on the map, and we need to find what is the road that is between them. Okay, so if you have a look at our map here, right, where is Ipai? That is Ipai, right? And where is Dispatch? Okay, that is dispatch. Okay, so what is the road that is basically between these two areas? Do you see that it's R75? R75, okay? Therefore, the road that is between Ibai and dispatch is R75. Okay, in question 2.3.4, it says, okay, how many provincial roads are indicated on the map? Okay, so we know, guys, if we're looking for provincial roads, we're looking for the roads that are indicated with an R. Okay, R is for provincial, M is for metropolitan, N is for national. Okay, so we just want the provincial roads that are indicated on the map. Okay, so we're gonna count all the roads that we see that have an R. Okay, so we've got one. So we've got R. Let me just do this with a red. We've got R 367. So we're gonna scratch out all the R367s that we see. Okay, then you've got R75. So we're gonna scratch out all the R75s that we see on the map. Okay, then you've got R102. So we're gonna scratch out all the R102s that we see on the map. Then you've got R334. Then you're gonna scratch out all the R334s that we see on the map. Then you've got R335. Then you're gonna scratch out all the R335s that we see on the map. Then you've got R368, and then you're gonna scratch out all of those that we see on the map. Okay, so then you're just gonna go through this again, just one last time to check to see if you've basically covered all your roads. Okay, and we see that we actually have all our provincial roads listed here, right? So all that's needed for us to do now is just count how many we have, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore, we can conclude that we've got 6, okay, provincial roads, okay, that are indicated on this map. Okay, and we are done with question 2.3.4. Let's have a look at the next question here. All right, it says that Mr. Tulani stated that the measured distance on the map from Motherwell to Blue Water Bay is 5 centimeters and the actual distance. So we're told that the measured distance is 5 centimeters and we're told that the actual distance is 13 kilometers. He further said that the scale of the map is 1 is to 260,000. Now we need to verify with the necessary calculations if his statement is correct. Okay, so remember, guys, when we were basically looking at question 2.1, right, we spoke about the measured distance and we spoke about the actual distance, right? And we said that your number scale represents what the measured distance is to the actual distance. Remember, we said this, right? So we still use the same thing. We already know it's the measured distance to, right? That colon represents the to, the actual distance. What is the measured distance, right? From Blue Water Bay to, from Motherwell to Blue Water Bay, right? The measured distance is 5 centimeters. We're going to write that down. The measured distance is 5 centimeters. To what is the actual distance? The actual distance is 13 kilometers. Write it down like this, okay? And now we want to basically verify that his statement is correct. What is his statement saying? He's saying that now the number scale of the map is 1 is to 260,000. This is what we're trying to verify, that it's 1 is to 260,000. This is what we are trying to basically obtain, okay, from using the information that is given to us. This is the answer that we want to get to. So if we get to this number scale, then we can say that, okay, Mr. Tulani's statement was correct. Okay, but now how can we get to that answer? So already we've got one problem here. Okay, our units are not the same. You guys already know when we're working with ratios, we want our ratio to be in its simplified form, and when we want it to be in its simplified form, we want it to be in the form of 1 is to something. Okay, so for us to get this ratio in its simplified form, that means that already we want to divide by 5, and continue. However, in this case, we can't just divide by 5 because our units are not the same here. So before we can divide then the left hand side, the right hand side with the left hand side, right? We first need to ensure that our units are the same, right? Once our units are the same, then we can continue then to divide so that we have our ratio in the form of 1 is to something. Okay, so how can we now convert? Okay, so already, guys, do you guys agree that we can just convert these kilometers into centimeters? Okay, so we can just leave that 5 centimeters the way it is, 2, and then we need to determine what is 13 kilometers in centimeters. Do our conversions for length. Okay, right? Remember, I already showed you guys how you do your conversions for weight, right? Now I'm going to show you how you can do your conversions when you're dealing with length. Okay, so please make sure that you also jot this down because I'm going to use this a lot in the channel, so remember this. Okay, so if you want to move from, so you've got kilometer, right? Kilometer, right? Then it's meters, then it's centimeters, then it's millimeters. Okay, so if you want to move from, your kilometers is the bigger units, guys, and I remember I said that if you're moving from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply, right? So in this case, if you want to move from kilometers to meters, we're going to multiply by 1,000. If you want to move from meters to centimeters, century, okay, a century is 100 years, so you're going to multiply by 100. Okay, if you want to move from centimeters to millimeters, you're going to multiply by 10. And then if you're going in the reverse direction, if you're moving from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you are going to divide. We're going to do the inverse operation of what we did at the top. So we multiplied at the top, at the bottom we divide. If you want to move from centimeters to meters, you divide by 100. If you want to move from meters to kilometers, you divide by 1,000. So if you can just obviously remember this, then you can do any type of length conversions, right? You will never go wrong. Okay, so how can we then convert these 13 kilometers into meters? Okay, so where are we? 13 kilometers. We are on kilometers and we want to move from kilometers, right, to meters. So we're going to go from kilometers to meters. Do you see that we're at the top? Okay, we're moving from left to right. So if you want to move from kilometers to meters, we want to multiply by 1,000. So in this case then, to convert our 13 kilometers, you're just going to take that 13 kilometers and we're just going to multiply it by 1,000. When you multiply by 1,000, guys, that will only put us on meters. Do you see that we'll only be at meters? However, we want to go to centimeters. So we will then also still multiply by another 100. Okay, and that will put us at centimeters. Okay, so you'll take that 13 kilometers, right? We are here, we want to go to centimeters. So if you want to go from kilometers to centimeters, you will just take 13 multiplied by 1,000. Okay, that will put us at meters. Then we will multiply by another 100, right? And that will put us at centimeters. Okay, so we're gonna multiply 1,000, then multiplied by 100, and that will give us the units in centimeters that we want. Okay, because guys, we are trying to convert to centimeters. All right, 13 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 100, you will get 1,300,000. Okay, centimeters, meaning that, okay, it's 5 centimeters to 1,300,000 centimeters. So now that we already have our units are the same, right? And since now our units are the same, right, we can basically now simplify our ratio to be in the form of 1 is to something. Okay, remember now we already have it as 5 centimeters is to 1,300,000 centimeters. To simplify our ratio, what do we need to do, right? We want it to be in the form of 1 is to something. We're going to divide by 5 centimeters. Divide by 5 centimeters here, right? So if you divide by 5 centimeters, you divide by 5 centimeters, what do you notice here, right? We notice that your centimeters, they cancel. 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1, okay? Is 2. Okay, what do we see here with the units? The centimeter and the centimeter, they cancel. And then the 1,300,000 divided by 5, you will get. So if you take 1,300,000 divided by 5, you will then get 260,000. Okay, so that is how they obtain their number scale there. Right, so we can therefore conclude that, okay, Mr. Tulani's statement was valid. Okay, all right, and that is the whole of question 2.3.5. All right, let us have a look at the next question. Okay, question 2.3.6 says, determine the time in minutes and seconds. Okay, you need to take note of what the question is saying. You want to determine what is the time in minutes and seconds taken by the Tulani family to travel from Motherwell to Blue Water Bay if they traveled by car at an average speed. So here we're given the speed that they traveled, and it is 80 kilometers per hour. And we're given the distance, which is 13 kilometers, right? And we're actually given a formula to use to help us then determine the time that then the Tulani family spent traveling from Motherwell to Blue Water Bay. Okay, so let's just write down the information that is given to us. We're given the average speed, we're given the total distance, we're given the time, we're given the formula that we can use to determine time. Let us write that down. Okay, so we're given the average speed, and the average speed is 80 kilometers per hour. That is how you write it, right? And we're given the distance, right, that they traveled. And the distance that they traveled, right, is 13 kilometers, right? We're also given the formula that we can use to determine the time. We know that time is equal to your distance divided by speed, your average speed. So let's just substitute. Let's do that. Kilometers, right? Divided by what is the average speed? Is 80 kilometers per hour, right? So it's 80 kilometers per hour. I'm writing it like this on purpose so that you'll see the units that are supposed to cancel, right? We already know it's supposed to be 13 kilometers. The divide can be changed into 13 kilometers multiplied by this reciprocal, right? So it's going to be 1 hour divided by 80 kilometers. Okay, so from here, what do you see? Do you see that the units for the kilometer and the kilometer cancel, and you'll have the answer in units and hours? So this is just the same as just saying 13 divided by 80, okay, hours, right? And then from this, if you punch this into a calculator, 13 divided by 80, okay, you'll get a time of 0.1625 hours. Okay, another learner on the channel basically understands that if you just want your time, right, you're just going to take, what is the distance? It's 13 kilometers, right, divided by what is your average speed? It's 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, so it's just 13 divided by 18, which is equal to 0.1625 hours. Okay, so I basically showed you guys the method on the left to make you see, okay, how the units are actually canceling, okay, mathematically, okay, just to help you understand that the kilometers they cancel, and you'll just be left with your units and hours. But also just doing it like this is also fine, but I'm obviously, the teacher in me wants me to do it this way so that you guys understand the procedural aspect of why the the units are cancelling. Okay, so that's our answer in hours. However, guys, remember the question asked us to determine the time in minutes and in seconds. However, we've got our time in hours. So how can you convert these 0.1625 hours into minutes and seconds? We already know, guys, right? 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. We're going to use this equation to help us convert from the hours to the minutes and further on to seconds. But I'm going to take it step by step so that I do not lose anyone. 0.1625 hours. We're going to multiply by what do you want? Do you want the units in minutes? So we're going to multiply it by 60 minutes. Divide by what you have. 1 hour, right? What do you see? The units. I love this method, guys. I love it so much, okay? It works every time. They cancel, right? Leaving you with the answer. The answer that you'll get, it'll be in units in minutes, okay? This is just the same as just saying 0.1625 multiplied by 60, right? You get 9.75 minutes. Okay, remember, we want our answer to be in minutes as well as seconds, meaning that the 0.75 that we have here, it represents the seconds. Okay, the 75 represents the seconds. So how can we convert then that 0.75 into seconds? We already know that 1 minute is equal to how many seconds? 60 seconds. Okay, right? And therefore, this is going to now help us to further on convert these minutes into seconds. Okay, remember, we want to just convert that 0.75 into seconds, right? Not that 9, because that 9 is already in minutes. This is actually us just saying we've got 9 minutes plus 0.75 minutes, right? So we want to convert these 0.75 minutes, right, into seconds. How are we going to do that? We're going to take that 0.75 minutes, right? We're going to multiply by what we want. We want the units in seconds. Multiplied by 60 seconds. Divided by what you have, which is your units in minutes, right? So we're going to divide by 1 minute. Okay, right? And then here, guys, do you see? Minutes cancel. The answer that we'll have, or the answer that we'll get, will be in the units in seconds. Okay, so in this case, if you punch this into your calculator, guys, right, if you take 0.75 multiplied by 60, you'll get then that is equal to 45 seconds, right? Meaning that, okay, it is actually 9 minutes, okay, and 45 seconds. Okay, that is how you guys are supposed to then approach this question. All right, and we are basically done with question 2.3. All right, and I hope that I managed to make everything easy for you guys to understand. And I'll see you guys on my next tutorial, guys. On the next tutorial, we're going to be tackling question 3.1. Question 3.1 deals with measurement. We're going to be calculating perimeter, we're going to be calculating area, we're going to be calculating volume of a rectangle, right? So please make sure that you have your notification bells turned on for this video tutorial. That is it, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next upload, Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. Bye, guys.